We're going to kick off with Michelle here, of course. She won the second series of The Apprentice. That was back in 2006. Dubbed the silent assassin because of her steely determination. I bet they wouldn't say that about a bloke. Anyway, she quit Alan Sugar's business empire after 11 months, now runs a very successful IT recruitment firm. And when she's not doing that or championing mental health concerns, she's playing politics, because you bravely or foolishly, I don't know what, stood as an independent up in Hull, your home city, last year, wasn't it?
I did. I got to the point in the election, I'd never had ambitions to get into politics, I'll be honest.
But you are a political beast.
I comment on politics, I have done now for about 6 years, and what happened is, in my hometown, our MP, Alan Johnson, stepped down. And then I thought, well, who are we going to vote for? Because I was in a situation where, you know, I'm an ambitious business person. I like the Tories for that side, but I hate what they do to, like, just normal, everyday people on the services they're cutting and stuff. Right. I love Labour, how they look after those people, but don't like what they do for business. And I thought, I'm stuck. I have no one to vote for. So I decided to vote.
Homeless was the phrase that I read. A lovely phrase, because I would share that. I feel politically homeless. I bet lots of people at home do as well. I
do, and I still do. So in that situation, for me, I can either sit and say I feel politically homeless and do nothing, or I can do something about it. So I decided to do something about it and stand.
Finish fourth.
Well, actually, let me explain.
Go on.
There was seven candidates. Yeah. I finished absolutely all right, fourth. I got nearly 2,000 votes in 4 weeks. And if you ever actually go back and look at how well independent candidates do, they don't achieve, they very rarely achieve. We got our deposit back, and actually, I regard what we achieved. I am so proud of nearly 2,000 votes. We only came a few hundred behind Lib Dems, who have been empowering the council there for many years and are well established. And we beat UKIP.
Simon's dying to get in and ask this question.
No, firstly, I think it's brilliant. Well done,
Thank you.
Would you stand again? Would you do it again?
I did read that you got a bucket full of abuse, but I think anybody who puts themselves in the line of the great British public in politics is going to cop some abuse.
I've never experienced abuse like it, and I work on television
go in a football club.
Week. Yeah, well, I can imagine. But yeah, I work on telly every week now, and I get abuse online all the time. Not saying I should have to, but that's part of my job. I've never experienced anything like what I did running for Parliament. No.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Gosh, it was all... There was only one side of the fence the abuse came from, and that was from some Labour supporters. I'm not saying all Labour supporters abused me, but certainly all of the abuse.
What about Brexit? You're pro-Brexit. Did that attract you any animosity from the Remainers?
Yeah, I voted Brexit, and one of my volunteers posted a leaflet through the door. The door was open and she was chased back up the path by a guy saying he wouldn't vote for a racist. And when my volunteer said, "What do you mean racist?" he said she voted Brexit. And that's how it was. And politics has become so divided.
Isn't it just?
People can't understand different opinions anymore, respectfully understand.
They don't want to understand. That's the thing. Blinkers.
It was, yeah.
Do you respond to any of the haters on Twitter or any other platform that you have? Because I never know whether to engage. I just generally think, oh, just forget. Honestly, they probably have very sad lives.
I try not to, but then at the same time, if you get me on a wrong day, I will fire back, because I just think, who do you think you are to be able to come up to someone, be aggressive, abusive? You don't know me. They don't. No one they very rarely spend any time actually understanding anything about me and my background.
Well, funny, if I may, because I read up quite a lot about you yesterday.
Did you? Oh, thank you.
I was very, very, very touched by a comment you made, which was that the death of your sister, I think very young in your teens, inspired you. Basically, you channeled the sadness into hard work. And it's just, I read that line, and it's something that wasn't it was something that I could associate with. Do you still feel like that? Because I'm not sure it is ultimately a healthy thing to do, to channel sadness into...
Yeah, so my sister, my big sister, she was my best friend in the world. She died 3 days before she was 20, just after I was 17. She died completely unexpectedly, and it broke my heart. It devastated my family, broke my heart completely out of the blue. It wasn't expected. And I looked at that and thought, I've got to change my life. I can't even explain what it did to me inside. It put something in my belly, and that's still there today. I changed my entire life. I was on an estate. My boyfriend was in and out of prison. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. I didn't value necessarily work and ambition. I worked so hard to turn my life around and to support my family, and we all changed. And Fiona, I can't even explain. She's not around anymore, but I am. So out of honour to her, everything that I do, I'd say yes to random things, activities and challenges, because I know she'll never get a chance to live. So I feel like if I can live enough for 2 people, and that's a huge pressure, but it drives me nonetheless.